Want to avoid crowds like this during February half-term? So did I. When I realised I was going to spend the next 15 years skiing at half-term, I went looking for strategies to help me avoid the busy pistes and the stresses that they bring. What I discovered was a reliable way to pick resorts each year by analysing country demographic information, travel trends and school holiday data across not just each country, but individual regions within Europe. In this video, I will show you what I do each year to find the least crowded resorts in Europe, so that my family can spend more time skiing and less time queuing. But I'm not just going to show you how I do it, I'm also going to share the results of my 2025 analysis, so you know exactly where you should be booking your ski trip this February. So, let's get into it. The UK February half-term coincides with many school holidays across France, Germany, and other European countries, leading to a surge in demand at ski resorts. This overlap results in extremely busy slopes, packed accommodations, and crowded facilities, as families across Europe flock to popular ski destinations simultaneously. Resorts become highly congested, making it challenging to find space in ski schools, restaurants, and on the slopes. This high demand drives up prices for accommodation, ski passes, and equipment rentals, often making skiing during this period significantly more expensive. However, all is not lost, as there are subtle shifts in the school holiday schedules across Europe each year, meaning that there are opportunities to find quieter regions in February once you understand the demographics and preferred skiing locations of different nations and cohorts. So let me show you exactly what information to pay attention to when picking a location for your ski holiday this February. There are a number of key things to be aware of if you want to understand when and where the crowds will form at ski resorts. Number 1. Each European nation has a different amount of skiers in the population. According to Statista, the top 3 countries in Europe with the highest number of skiers in 2018 were: in third place, the UK, with over 6 million active skiers, not bad for a country with very few ski resorts. In second place, France, with over 8.5 million skiers. And in first place, with over 14.5 million skiers, was, can you guess? Yes, it is Germany. So, if you want to understand how to avoid crowded ski slopes, all you need to do is find out when these countries take their school holidays. Right? Wrong. You see, each country is then split into regions, and each region within each country can take their holidays at different times. Often there is significant overlap, which is why areas get busy, but there are also outliers which change each year. And these are the first places I go looking for. You also need to take into account that the population density across the regions, as they vary massively and are not evenly distributed. For example, the Paris region of France has by far the largest population density of any region, so understanding when the Paris school holidays fall is far more important than the timing of holidays in somewhere like Bordeaux. That said, the data shows that the majority of Parisians who go skiing do so in the resorts of the northern French Alps, which happen to be the closest resorts to them. So it is still possible to find quieter ski resorts in France, even during the school holiday periods for Paris, by heading to the mountains of the Pyrenees in the southwest of France. So here is what I do to make sense of all this chaos. First, I understand where the largest skier populations are based within Europe. I use open datasets from websites like Statista to compile all of this. Knowing which countries contribute the largest number of skiers is only the start though. You next need to understand the trends of where these skiers head on their holidays. A great example of this is the UK. The UK has over 6 million skiers, but only a tiny amount ever ski in the UK. This means that UK skiers head to neighbouring European countries to find more reliable snow conditions and better lift infrastructure. And by far the most popular region that the Brits head to is the northern French Alps, the very same region that many of those skiers from Paris also head to. So I built a model to help make sense of where all the different cohorts typically head to for their holidays. Second, once I know the number of skiers and where they typically head to, I then gather information on the published school holiday dates for each country. I'll share the links I use in the show notes below. Most large countries are split into regions, and each region typically has its own school holiday dates. So I also need to take into account the population distribution across these regions. As you can see, each country has a different profile. Shout out to the team at Visual Capitalist for the great work that they do. But also remember that the distribution of skiers across countries is not even. Take Italy, for example. As a very rough rule of thumb, the further south you live, the less likely you are to ski. So when I take into account the data for these places, I apply a weighting to the different regions. Now, not every school in the UK takes their half-term break over the same week, but by far the most popular week in 2025 is Monday 17th to Friday 21st. So that is the week that I ran my model on. The British statistician George Box once said, "All models are wrong, but some are useful." And I think that is a healthy way to approach my findings. Okay, getting right to it. If, like me, you are planning a ski trip during the February school half-term, there is only one region I will be heading to, and that is the Triol in Western Austria. And I have already selected 5 great resorts in this region for you to check out. But before we jump into that, let me explain some of the reasoning behind why the Triol came out on top this year. First, in France, Zones B and C are on holiday at the same time, and Paris is part of Zone C, meaning that much of the northern French Alps is closed out. Second, in Switzerland, the areas of Zurich and Vaud are on holiday, and Vaud is very close to the northern French Alps, which will only heap more pressure onto that area. Third, the southern German states do not clash with the UK, which draws my attention to the potential of Austria. Fourth, there are Austrian clashes with the UK in the regions of Upper Austria and Styria, and although their populations are relatively small at 1.5 million and 1.2 million respectively, they will apply pressure to the neighbouring Salzburg region and its resorts. So although the Salzburg region is not on holiday at the same time as the UK and would normally be in contention, I believe the bleed across from Upper Austria and Styria mean there will be less busy places to plan for this year. I'm already crunching the data for the 2026 February half-term. If you want to be the first to know where you should be heading for an uncrowded ski holiday in 2026, please press the subscribe button now so you do not miss out. It will also help me out massively so I can continue investing my time into sharing this for future years. And while you are there, please give this video a thumbs up so that other skiers can discover it. Thanks in advance for your support. So now you know which region to head to, here are 5 resorts for you to check out. Today we're only taking a quick look at St. Anton, Lech, Fiss, Obergurgl and Ischgl, but do check out my other videos for more in-depth reviews. Okay, let's dive in. Kicking things off with the legendary St. Anton. Known for its world-class skiing and even better après-ski, this resort is a must-visit for intermediate skiers and party lovers alike. With a max altitude of 2,811 meters, St. Anton offers a vast playground of 305 kilometers of runs, spread over all difficulty levels. St. Anton has 88 lifts that make accessing the terrain super easy. It's famous for its deep powder and off-piste opportunities, but don't worry, there are also plenty of groomed runs if that's more your style. Next up is Lech, located just a short hop from St. Anton. Lech offers a more upscale, family-friendly vibe compared to its rowdier neighbour. At a max height of 2,450 metres, Lech is home to 305 kilometres of skiable terrain as part of the larger Arlberg area. There are 88 lifts here, giving you access to a huge variety of slopes, from gentle beginner runs to more advanced terrain. Lech is also known for its luxurious accommodations and fine dining. If you're into skiing with a touch of glamour, Lech is the place to be. Now let's head to Fiss, part of the Fisslades Surfhouse area. This region is perfect for families, offering fantastic childcare and plenty of activities for the kids. Fiss reaches a max altitude of 2,820 metres and boasts 214 kilometres of slopes. The area is serviced by 68 lifts, so you'll never have to wait long to hop on the next run. Fiss is known for its sunny plateau, with tons of blue and red runs that cater to beginners and intermediates. And for the little ones, the Bertus Kinderland is a massive children's snow park that's a dream come true for families. Next, we have Obergurgl, Austria's diamond of the Alps. Famous for its high-altitude snow-shore slopes, this resort sits at a towering 3,080 metres, making it one of the highest resorts in Europe. Obergurgl has 112 kilometres of runs and is the perfect spot for those looking to avoid crowds and enjoy pristine snow. There are 25 lifts across the Obergurgl and Hochgurgl areas, and despite its smaller size, this resort packs a punch with its high-quality skiing. If you're after a quieter, more relaxing ski experience with stunning alpine views and reliable snow conditions, this is your place. Last but certainly not least, we have Ischgl, known as the Ibiza of the Alps. Ischgl is just as famous for its nightlife as it is for its skiing, so great if you have older teenagers. The resort's highest point sits at 2,872 metres, offering 239 kilometres of groomed runs that cater to all skill levels. Ischgl's 45 lifts are ultra-modern, keeping lines short and getting you up the mountain in no time. This resort is a paradise for intermediate and advanced skiers, and after a full day on the slopes, the nightlife here is unbeatable. Make sure to check out the famous Top of the Mountain concerts, where international artists perform at high altitude. So there you have it. You don't have to follow the crowds this February. You can carve your own path to a quieter and less hectic part of Europe. We know that the Triol region, Especially the western edge of the Triol is a great location to head to in the 2025 half-term. If you have any suggestions on better places to ski in this region, drop them in the comments section for others to find. And don't worry if you can't remember all this, I have created a free one-page cheat sheet covering all the main points that you can find in the show notes below. Remember that this is relevant for 2025, and in later years the results are sure to be different, so do make sure you press the subscribe button now if you do not want to miss out on next year's results. And to help other skiers discover this video, simply hit the thumbs up and the algorithm will take care of the rest. If you found this video interesting, why not check out my other ski wisdom videos where we are always searching for ways to avoid the crowds.